Have you ever considered just how open-minded you really are? Or have you ever pondered about the invisible lines you've drawn in your mind? Lines that you refuse to cross, no matter how compelling the argument might be. Now imagine your mind as a lush garden, teeming with thoughts, ideas and beliefs. It's a beautiful place, but there are certain areas you never venture into. These areas are cordoned off by invisible fences, boundaries of thought and belief that you've erected over time. Some fences are due to societal norms, others are self-imposed. They keep us within our comfort zones, away from the unconventional or the unfamiliar. The invisible lines in our minds act just like these fences. They limit our exploration of the garden, confining us to the familiar paths and well-trodden flower beds of our convictions. So even though we consider ourselves open-minded, aren't we all just gardeners carefully tending to our thoughts within the confines of our invisible fences? Now, let's delve into the role of authority and consensus in shaping these invisible lines. How often do we accept ideas simply because they come from a perceived expert or the majority? It's a common phenomenon, isn't it? Authority figures, be it scientists, politicians, or celebrities, often shape our understanding of the world. Their opinions, cloaked in the aura of expertise or popularity, seep into our consciousness, solidifying our invisible lines. Similarly, the power of consensus is not to be underestimated. The majority opinion, the accepted norm, the societal consensus, these two have a way of reinforcing our invisible lines. We often accept these consensus views without question, assuming that the many must surely know better than the few or the one. Yet in the process, we might be strengthening our invisible lines, making them harder to cross or even recognize. It seems that our invisible lines aren't drawn solely by us, but also by the hands of authority and consensus. So what happens when we stick rigidly to our invisible lines, refusing to cross them even when new information presents itself? And is it always a bad thing to have these lines? Well, the answer is twofold. On the one hand, strict adherence to these boundaries can result in missed opportunities for learning and growth. Like a horse with blinders, we may become so focused on what we already know that we overlook the chance to broaden our horizons. It's a bit like refusing to taste a new dish because we're content with our usual order. On the other hand, these invisible lines can provide stability and structure, acting as a mental safety net. They prevent us from tumbling into a rabbit hole of uncertainty and confusion. It's like sticking to a tried and true recipe rather than experimenting with unknown ingredients. So, as we navigate through the world of knowledge, it's crucial to be aware of our invisible lines and to challenge them when necessary. After all, an open mind isn't one without lines, but rather one that knows when to redraw them.
Answers to something.